All right, so first off, I want to say all praise to Yahweh, in the name of his son, Yahweh Shai, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors to my elders, apostles, and the bishops of Great Millstone, otherwise known as GMS for short, but also known as the prophets of doom. These are where I have learned this truth and where I am still learning this truth. And also, I want to say shalom to the remnant and the elect of Israel. Lord willing, I'm of that number. Um, this video is going to be touching on the MotB, just a quick, maybe a quick video, I don't know. Just updating on if any progression has been made this week uh, with the technologies or the companies that are going to help forward this technology. Okay. As far as the series that we were working on, I think the title was So What If Most Don't Believe? That series for now, all right, hopefully, Lord willing, all right, that point was made. My information that I had on this laptop was has been I don't know, this computer resets, so it'll take away the windows that you had up. Mine were closed. I think we only had one more video to go, so that one is going to be done for now. All right, so that series is done. So hopefully the point was made on that. But as far as this one, we're going to go into the MotB. All right. Thank you. All right, so let's start with Revelation 13, verses 16 and 17, and then we'll type into Google and see what comes up with these companies or these names that we keep finding while researching this technology. All right. So let's start with the verse itself. As a matter of fact, this time I did go straight to the blue letter, but this time let's go to the Bible Hub really quick. As a matter of fact, if I've never mentioned these things that we look up on, these tools that we use, all right, I'll just name a couple right now. One of them, of course, is the Blue Letter Bible. It's an app that you can find, Blue Letter Bible. All right, it allows you to go in and look at concordances, um, the definitions of words. It gives precepts. Uh, it shows relating verses. And as we always say, okay, if you don't have a foundation, you won't be able to spot uh, when it goes off sometimes. Okay, this one that we're going to use today is BibleHub.com. All right, it's another app somewhat similar to BLB or the Blue Letter Bible, somewhat similar. It's a lot easier to find commentaries if you keep scrolling down. What else? Uh, Different translations also. Okay. Um, but you can find commentaries in the Blue Letter Bible also, but it's there's they're similar but different. All right. So, but that's two suggestions that you go look up while you still can. Blue Letter Bible is one, and then BibleHub.com is another. Okay. So let's go here to Revelation. Oops. Revelation 13 and 16. Okay. All I typed in was Revelation 13:16, and it's giving me um, different translations. All right. Like, for instance, let's see. The NIV version reads, it, meaning the beast, all right, or really it's he, all right, the top banking families. The beast is the system that Esau has, all right, but in this verse it mentioned he, which it is speaking of Esau, but namely again the top banking families, all right. So it also forced all people, great and small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hands or on their foreheads. The NLT reads, he required everyone, small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to be given a mark on the right hand or on the forehead. ESV, also it causes all, both small and great, both rich and poor, both free and slave, to be marked on the right hand or on the forehead. Now, seeing that word right there, uh, both free and slave. Now, I want to look this up. Just a simple question. Does being a slave mean that you are in captivity? I just want to see what it says. Okay. Yes, being a slave generally means that you are in a form of captivity, as captivity is a core characteristic of the condition of slavery. Slavery is defined as a condition where one person is owned as property by another and is forced to work without pay. This inherently involves a lack of freedom and movement, which aligns with the definition of captivity. Now, without pay can mean minimum pay, barely any pay, might as well not be any pay. All right, things like this. Uh, you can think that you're getting paid, all right, when really you're not getting paid at all. If you look at as a matter of fact, let me see. Let's I do want to check something out really quick. Excuse me, I'm a slow typer, especially with one hand. Let me see, how much of a gap is there? And I think the gap is the wrong word, but hopefully this thing will pick up on what I'm trying to ask here. But how much of a gap is there between the richest people on the planet compared to the average? And a lot of us are below average, so just keep that in mind, all right? Compared to the average. All right, so again, how much of a gap is there between the richest people on the planet compared to the average American worker? Okay, let's see what it says. All right, so it says net worth comparison. Top 5 global billionaires versus median household for 2025/2026. So let's see. What says the gap between the world's richest individuals and the average American worker has reached historical levels as of early 2026. The net worth of a single top billionaire can be several million times greater than the median wealth of a typical U.S. household, several million times greater. So the pay that you think that you're getting, is it really pay? Compared, all right, compared to the ones who uh, run the world, who have the power to causeth all. All right. So are you really making pay? And I'm pretty sure if everyone knew, everyone has an idea of the difference between the two, but no one really knows. And it would be, they said, if you think you know, all right, you have no idea. That's a saying, especially when it comes to this money. All right. So again, the gap between the world's richest individuals and the average American worker has reached historic levels as of early 2026. The net worth of a single top billionaire top billionaire can be several million times greater than the median wealth of a typical U.S. household. That's the word I was looking for, disparity. All right. So wealth disparity. Billionaires versus average Americans. Top billionaires as of January 2026. Elon Musk remains the world's wealthiest person, so they say. All right, I don't believe it, but I guess we'll just use this as an example. The world's wealthiest person with an estimated net worth of roughly 726 billion. Other top individuals like Larry Page and Jeff Bezos, hold fortunes exceeding 200 billion each. The average American worker. The median U.S. household net worth for 2025 is estimated at $187,690. So a lot of us are even below average. Okay. All right. The multiplier says to match the wealth of the world's richest person, 726 billion, it would take approximately 3.8 million median American households combined. All right. Income and pay gaps. CEO to worker ratio. In 2025 or 2026, the gap between CEO pay and typical worker pay at major firms continues to average around 350 to 1. At some low-wage S&P 500 companies, this ratio has spiked as high as 830 to 1. Median income. It says a projected 2026 median national household income is between 89,000 and 90,000. All right. Wealth concentration. It says the top 1% of U.S. households now own nearly 32% of all national wealth, the highest share since records began in 1989. In contrast, the bottom 50% of the population holds only about 2.5% of the country's total net wealth. Key drivers of the chasm. Asset ownership. It says the wealthiest individuals primarily grow their net worth through stocks, property, and business ownership, which tend to appreciate rapidly. And believe me, you are a part of that property category. All right. You're a part of all of it, really. Stocks, property, and business ownership. All right. You are in captivity. You Israelites. Well, the whole world is. All right. But the scriptures All right, focus on the Israelites. Since we fell, this world is in this state. Since Esau is running this place, this world is in this state right now. This is a condition of the battle for everyone. All right, and it's not going to get better until Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, returns. All right, and it's also going to be better for these other nations, although they're outside of Israel. Okay, they're not going to have to live in a world with Esau anymore. Okay, we're going to rule in righteousness. It's not going to be like Esau. All right, the first 1,000 years of the setting up of the kingdom is going to be a hardcore captivity. But again, after that, no more world with Esau. Okay. So wage stagnation. It says while billionaire wealth grew 3 times faster in 2025 than in previous years, pay for the bottom 90% of Americans has remained relatively stagnant when adjusted for inflation. All right, you unions out there, okay? Nothing you old time union people will tell you that the union has changed, but all right, these billionaires are I imagine a Heisman, the Heisman Trophy. All right, they're just stuffing you. All right, everyone, they're just stopping. They've stopped the progression of someone being able to make any forward progress. Really, everybody is stagnant. Okay, and when I say everyone, I don't mean every single person. I mean, of course, we're talking about other people here that are keeping others beneath them. All right, way beneath them, and still trying to squeeze blood out of them. Okay. Stock market control, it says the top 1% now own approximately 50% of all U.S. stocks and mutual funds. These news reports detail the historic gap between billionaires and average Americans, including statistics on wealth concentration and economic trends. They show two articles here. One called "Wealth Inequality in America Just Hit Its Widest Gap," and another one called "Wealth Inequality and the K-Shaped Economy." All right, yeah, I don't know what these things are, but they are both from January 2026. Okay. So I just wanted to read that to let you know, all of us, right, are in captivity, whether you know it or not. All right, this money that you think you have, these riches and all that, it does not compare. Okay, these people have us right where they want us, right, in position to fall for something like a mark of the beast, something like a uh, or to fall for something that acts as a badge of servitude to them. Okay, so this world is ripe and is ready for this this prophecy to take place. Okay, so let's get the KJV of Revelation 13 and 16. All right, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Now I do want to go back to the Blue Letter Bible, so hold on a minute. Let me check one more out, the Amplified Bible. Amplified, the AMP, Revelation 13 and 16 reads, and he also compels all. So let's use this Winston's dictionary, and I want to see what compel. Okay. Compel. Okay, it says to urge irresistibly, to oblige, to force, to take by force. Synonyms are necessitate, coerce, constrain, to make. Okay. So again, A and P, Revelation 13:16. Also, he compels all, the small and the great, and the rich and the poor, and the freemen and the slaves to be given a mark on their right hand or on their forehead, signifying allegiance to the beast. Now, if he can make all of these categories of people do this, okay, he has the power to do so, which is what Job 9:24 tells you. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. All right. All nations have been wicked. All right. But Esau, Edom is the wicked. Okay. In this Winston's dictionary, wicked says evil in intention and practice, sinful, immoral, pernicious, harmful, mischievous, roguish. Okay. Synonyms: depraved, vicious, evil, infamous. And it says to look up the word bad. Okay. Um, let's look it up really quickly. Just a description of Esau. All right. Bad. All right. Let's see. Evil, morally wicked, corrupting, hurtful, offensive, defective, illegally worthless, severe. Let's see. Sick, that which is wrong, evil, corrupting. All right. Synonyms: immoral, vicious, sinful, inferior. And yes, Esau is inferior. The reason why they got the power that they do is because the Lord set them up to have this power. Okay. Bad means harmful or morally blamable. All right. Evil usually describes that which is morally bad as evil thoughts or desires, but it may mean disastrous as an evil day. Let's see. Wicked implies not only evil principles but evil practice. Okay? Just a description of Esau. Now, I do want to go to the blue letter for this next part here, right? Revelation 13:16. Let's look at this word mark. This is what he's going to cause it all to receive. All right.
Strong's G 5480. Kharagma. Kharagma.
It says a stamp, an imprinted mark. Let's use this dictionary some more. All right. Okay, stamp. Let's see. To mark. Uh, to label, brand, exhibit the character of, as his acts stamp the man. Okay, if you're walking in the ways of Esau, or this world, this wicked world, the wicked spirit that's in this world, all right, that shows you've been marked, or your acts stamp you, okay, as to what kind of person you are. Okay, it says to imprint, impress, to fix deeply. Hmm. To shape or cut out. Hmm. All right, hold on. I'm still looking for some more. Let me see. It says anything made by being stamped. Something cut in wood or metal. All right, now let's look at imprinted. Here's imprint. To impress deeply. Hmm. Uh, an impression or mark left by something. Okay. So also in this definition it says of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist. Let me find this word for badge. I know this is slow going, tedious or whatever, simple. All right, but some people need to hear stuff this way. So badge. It says a distinctive mark, sign, or token to denote the occupation, association, or achievements of the person by whom it is worn. The mark or token of anything. Okay, so it's basically like Esau Edom sees you walking in their ways, so they give you a badge to put it to wear it gladly. All right, just like when you got the Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, cops. All right, they have badges. All right, the military to show who they have allegiance to. That's what this acts as. Okay. It also gives the example of a mark branded upon horses, which shows you that it's going to be a physical thing. Okay. And it acts as that. It acts as you putting the name uh, or the number of Esau on you or in you, really, in this case. It says a thing carved, sculpture, graven work. Strong's definition says a scratch or etching, i.e., stamp as a badge of servitude. Okay. Now, as far as us Israelites, this day, captivity. Let me find this really quick. Since we already spoke about being in captivity, even if you don't think you are, if you don't recognize it. All right, captivity doesn't always mean being behind bars. All right, we had yokes of iron on our necks. Now a lot of us have yokes, those same yokes of iron on our spirits. All right, and the way that we walk shows this. Okay, so let me read this Ezra 9 and let me see. Hold on. Let me read this Ezra 9 and 7. It says, since the days of our fathers have we been in great trespass unto this day, and for our iniquities have we, our kings and our priests, been delivered into the hand of the kings of the lands, to the sword, to captivity, and to a spoil, and to confusion of face, as it is this day. That just summed up the position that all of us are in. All right, we're in captivity still to this day. We are in well, the ones that are waking are coming out of this great trespass to the best of our ability. Okay, trying to walk in the ways of the world versus, or trying to walk in the ways of the Lord to the best of our ability, versus walking in the ways of the nations that we are surrounded by. All right, and it's going on this day. All right, like as we said earlier, this is the condition of the battle. Okay, but the Lord has a remnant and an elect here. All right, that are going to break these veils. All right, he's the Lord. The Lord's going to break the veils, and we're going to be able to see the truth. All right, and this is what this is. So that was just a quick little intro. Let me check this time. All right, a quick little intro where most of it was flipping through this book looking for definitions. The next part, which Lord willing, I'll put it up also right after this one goes up. All right, we're going to be going into these um, manufacturers or people in competition that are going to build this technology. All right. We'll give the names of these people when we come, or these businesses, these manufacturers, when we get back. Okay. But as far as now, I hope this, so far, this came through as sincere and edifying. And with that, I'm going to say all praise to Yahweh, in the name of the Son, Yahweh Shai, in the name of the Holy Spirit. All right, double honors for my elders, apostles, and bishops of Great Millstone, otherwise known as GMS for short. All right, but also known as the prophets of doom. These are where I have learned this truth and where I am still learning this truth. And also I want to say shalom to the remnant and the elect of Israel. Lord willing, I am of that number. And Lord willing, we'll see you in the next video, which should be coming up right after this one. All right. So, shalom.